project. We're adding on to the little school, but the most significant piece is to look toward the future for the construction of a new school. Thank you. Thank you.
Just going to take a few moments and show you the site and where it is within the community, and then get down to the specifics of the site itself. You can see here you are in the high school now, and off to the west side of town is the little school. To the north is the Hood School, and immediately to our east is the Batchelder. As you can see, the new Swan Pond site is on the east end of town. That's where a majority of the development has and continues to occur. Currently, McIntyre Crossing is coming online on that end of town. With this slide, you can see 62 down at the bottom. You can see 62 down at the bottom. And then you can see that there is currently a means of access through Bigham and Irwin and up Hemlock. And then the new McIntyre Drive, which some of you may never have seen before, the new McIntyre Drive, James Millen and Hannah Graves. That will be the access point into the facility, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. The current Swan Pond Road stops right about here. And this is currently the Housing Authority property. Hannah Graves will end here, currently ends here in a cul-de-sac. There's a 40-foot utilities easement on Hannah Graves Way for the new Swan Pond site. And this will remain a dirt road, and that would be a fire road. This is a rough sketch of how the new school would look on the Swan Pond site. For some of you, I know for all of the school building committee, we recognize this footprint. This is the footprint of the little school. What we did was we put that on the site so that you could see how it would be laid out. Again, you'd have a bus drop-off, the parking, play areas, and the ball fields in the back. This is to give you an idea of what that site would look like. This is Fox Run Road up here, and this is Hannah Graves is down in this area here. Over here, sorry. And I guess I'd just like to point out again that the cost of this project, the net cost to you, the taxpayer, of 3.3 is less than the net cost if we were to renovate and upgrade and add on to the Batchelder School. And the primary reason for that is the Batchelder School, as Tricia Colella mentioned, does not qualify for the 64% state reimbursement. Thank you.
Good evening. The presentation this evening has clearly demonstrated the need for a new elementary school. This school committee, Mr. Hernandez, Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Vaca, Mr. Jervy, and myself, are committed to the current educational system the expansion of our existing structures and to the construction of a new facility at Swan Pond. As noted, this is the second phase of our building project. I'd like to thank all of you for your support in the first phase of our project and ask you now for your continued support as we move forward. In the interim, the school committee made the decision to purchase 2 portable units that will address the immediate needs of the Batchelder School. These additional modular classrooms will alleviate overcrowding, provide adequate space for specialists, and allow us to move the music and the art programs to full-size classrooms. These temporary portable units will be installed over the summer. They will be used for 3 years with 2 annual reviews as defined by the Historic District Commission. The staff, the children, and the parents of the Batchelder School have waited long enough for these minimal improvements. We cannot wait for the construction of a new school, which could take, and we hope this isn't true, up to 4 years. The need, ladies and gentlemen, is now. The need was last year. The need only increases with each new school year. With the development of McIntyre Crossing, the school department could see a minimum increase of 100 school-aged children. I realize the CPC uses an estimate of 0.56 children per household, but when I look at Ridgeway Road where I live, there are 19 homes. When that street was built, within 5 years, we had 44 children on the street. Using that same percentage, McIntyre Crossing could have about 142 children. Where do we put them? It's important to remember that the Commonwealth will reimburse us 64 cents on every dollar. Now is the time for us to take action. The Space Study Committee, the School Building Needs Committee, the School Building Committee, and the school committees, both past and present, have recognized this need. We ask you to support this article for the schematic design and the design development so we may ensure that the educational needs of our children will be met well into the next century. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Is the Finance Committee ready to make a recommendation? Mr. Burton.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The Finance Committee has spent a lot of time on this particular issue, and the Finance Committee does recommend this. We would like to point out and ask that for those of you that took part in the debate last Thursday, that's another issue. That's an operating budget issue. This is an issue for space and facilities for the students in the years to come. Our primary deciding factor fell in the range that the cost to maintain the batch over the next few years is completely outweighing the value that we would have to invest in a new school that would provide a brand new facility and much better educational environment for the younger people. We strongly urge you to support this, and keep in mind that indeed this tonight is simply the first step. We're asking tonight to spend $225,000. Eventually we will be spending several $1 million. The money will be coming back. The return will not be immediate, and so please keep in mind as you get your tax bills in the future, it's the cost of doing business, but the money is coming back, and just not next year.
Mrs. Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the pros, and I guess what I'll bring is some of the factual information that I think I've gathered over the years of living in this community for a great number of years. The Board of Selectmen originally supported the addition to the little school. It was unanimous on that. I was one of the members that voted favorably. We also voted unanimously on the modular classrooms to the bachelor school. We also are in a position to vote unanimously on an addition to the Hood School. However, that's where our philosophies differ. That's the close of it right there, and I was the lone vote that voted against this particular appropriation. The School Building Committee and the School Committee based their elementary enrollment based on what's happened over the past years. And I think, as you all know, this town will be built out within the next couple of years. The Millen property is the last large parcel of property to be built on in this community. The feeling with the school building committee and the school committee is that after the people that have kids in the elementary schools right now, after those kids are out of school, and this is what was presented at our meeting, after those kids go through the school system, that all those families are going to pick up and move out of the community, and a whole bunch more people are going to move in. Now, I've gone to real estate brokers in this community in the last couple of months and asked them, how many listings do you have? They said, we're hurting for listings. And if that's the indication, that indicates to me that there's not too many people willing to leave this community. They're happy here, they like it here, they like the way of life. We have a real good school system, and I don't doubt that in any shadow of a doubt. We have one of the best school systems. But we have to learn to live within the means of the ability of the people in this community to pay. There's a lot of people that they're not here tonight, they're not represented here tonight. And we have to represent them as well as ourselves and what we want for ourselves. And if we don't do that, then we're not really representing the community in the best fashion that we should. So I'm up here as a lone individual in this entire administration that's opposing this. Sometimes it's not the popular way to go, and sometimes it's also not the political way to go. But I know it's the right way to go. This town cannot afford to build a new school. I think we have to live with what we've got, do the best we can with what we've got, and allow some of the communities that live here, or some of the people that have lived here in this community, the right to maintain and keep their homes and keep food in their tables. I have seen history repeat itself over and over, and I said this to Dr. Trout. I said, I've lived here for 62 years. You've been here too, and you're telling me what the history of the community is. And I'm telling him that I've seen the school enrollments in this town are based on building permits. When the building permits go up, the school enrollment goes up. When the building permits go down, the school enrollment go down. And right now, the building permits are going down. They're not going up, they're going down. And they'll go down for the next 10 or 12 or 15 years because there's no place to build. We just passed a law at last town meeting that we increased the road sizes from 20 to 21 feet. That's going to eliminate a tremendous amount of homes in the small areas of the town, in the congested areas. The new home construction, you'll see it'll subside to next to nothing within the next few years. I think this thing is overplayed, way overemphasized, and I think people are getting carried away with, oh, there's no place to put these kids. They're putting the modular classrooms on at the bachelor school, and that'll replace a lot of problems. And they keep saying it's only the first phase and the new school will be the second phase. It's not the second phase. The second phase was the modular classrooms. The school at Swan Pond will be the third phase, and the school addition to the Hood School will be the fourth phase. Real estate, like I said, the brokers have indicated that they're not even getting the listings. That's a key, and I think it's a big key. The water tower at Swan Pond, we had hoped not to have to build the water tower at Swan Pond until the year 2002. If in fact the school goes through, we're going to have to build the water tower somewhere between the year 1998 and 1999 at a cost of $2.5 million. They didn't tell you that. That's another increase, and in some place the money's got to come from. Where it's coming from, who knows? You heard the town administrator or the finance chairman tell you that we have no money in free cash. $0. If in fact we continue the pace of spending that we're going to have the bond rating committee will come in, look at our free cash situation, see it's depleted, and they're going to lower our bond rate, which will increase our interest rate. And don't think it won't, because it will. We've seen it happen before. When you get down into a slush fund like we've got in free cash, your bonding rate goes really high. So think of the interest. The other thing, we won't receive that state money for some 6 to 8 years. The town of North Reading will incur the entire expense of the project for that period of time. Another thing I feel going around town, and we work in town, we have a business in town, we talk to people in town, my feeling is it may win here, but it'll probably get beat on the town ballot. If in fact it's going to get beat on the town ballot, why are we spending $250,000 to fund a program that's not going to